Hi, this is Mark from ValueCharts.com. Let's take a look at the soybean market here again. We touched on this a couple of days ago when it was breaking down below really the price levels from last week, and saw that as maybe a potential selling opportunity, and really are viewing this market as trading in a wedge pattern. We are looking at the strong possibility that this market could be heading towards a test of the lower boundary here and possibly looking for a break over the next couple of days. Now, we've got a interesting formation here in the fact that we've had a tight trading range today, and today's Tuesday, August 14th, looking to either break the low of yesterday's trading range and possibly going down. We would expect, if that happens, for us to go down to the lower trend line of this wedge here, and if it breaks that, then we could fall quite a ways at that point. So one trade is a break of the low of yesterday or today's trading range, and now we've obviously started trading in the overnight session. We're essentially about 2 cents higher so far, but we'll see what happens. If we break the high of today's range, then we want to see if that would lead us to potential retest of the upper trend line and the wedge pattern. Now, one thing, it's really too early to tell because we just started trading on this next session, but if we see a reversal here of the cycle indicator, we're seeing essentially a situation where the trend line or the strengthening of the MQ momentum here, that if we see that strengthen here, then we could make a strong argument that a break above today's high could lead to a retest of the trend line, which would take us, the top trend line, which would take us about 50 cents higher. So really a break of the high here, we would note, and we would expect to see pretty aggressive follow through either way, would lead us potentially to the upper trend line. A break of the low of today's trading range would look to test the lower trend line here, which could take us to maybe the 1565 level thereabouts. So we'll continue to track this market. Again, we're seeing a coiling effect here with really a weakening of the downside momentum. But if we see this as kind of established, then I'd say with the lower cycle low expected here so far, then we would expect to definitely get a retest of the upper band. Right now, I'm skeptical of that. I would say that I'm expecting a retest of the lower band. For anybody who sold the low of Friday as a entry point and now has some profits, captured in the trade, I would suggest possibly putting a break-even stop at that point. We should not get back up to that low level of last Friday's trading range unless we're wrong about our projection to test the lower trend line here. But too soon to tell, but certainly not a bad move to make in case we're wrong and we see this market go right back up to test the upper trend line of the trading range. Now, one quick note to make would be, if we look at the weekly patterns here, again, a little too early to comment, but there is a possibility that it looks to me like the trend indicator could roll over here and possibly head south, but there's also the possibility that we're seeing a cycle bottom possibly form here in the cycle finder. So conflicting indicators right now in the trending or in the soybeans market, but certainly a strong possibility that we are going to see a test of the lower trend line that we referenced in the daily chart. Right now, if we look at the 60-minute chart overnight, really not a very clear indication of what we might expect here, but we'll continue to keep on watching this market.